All right, guys, welcome to our Standing on Shoulders assignment. My name is Sammy, and just a little bit about me. Here at George Fox, I am a psychology major. I play on the George Fox softball team, and then I work at Hadlock Student Center. And then our co-hosts for today are Gage and Emily. So, Gage, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Gage McLeod. I'm a senior here at George Fox. I'm a psychology major, theology minor, graduating this spring. Hopes to pursue like being a school counselor someday. Gonna get my master's in school counseling, and then yeah, I have a passion for coaching hoops, and yeah, kind of just finishing up the school year strong. I guess we just started, but yeah, kind of just getting through the last hump of senior year.
Okay, my name is Emily Benavides, and I'm like a junior slash senior psych major. I'm hoping to pursue a career in law enforcement, specifically like detective work. And then I also play softball here at Fox. So that's where I know Sammy.
All right, so to get started on this assignment, we're going to be talking about the concepts of balancing life in college and then about different co-curriculars that there are in college. And I know that nobody's on this direct Zoom right now. You guys are going to be watching it. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. It's just sstatlander23 at George Fox. So feel free to do that. To start with balancing life, one of my biggest points is that your planner or your Google Calendar is going to be your best friend. I use my Google Calendar every day. I use it for meetings with professors, meetings with other students, classes, sports practices, even just hanging out with my friends. It's all in my Google Calendar, so I'm never to miss a assignment or an event. So make sure that you're using, it doesn't have to be Google Calendar, but some sort of planner to make sure that you have everything in a line, or else you will end up missing an assignment or a meeting that you may have scheduled. And make sure that you're not overdoing yourself as well. I know that there's a lot to do in college and that there's a lot that you have to do, but make sure that you aren't overdoing yourself, overbooking yourself, and making sure that you put your priorities first. My second point is that schoolwork comes first, but make sure that you are incorporating relaxation time. So just a question that I have is, what are some of your favorite activities that help you truly disconnect and relax after a long day of classes? So for myself, I like to go hammock up at Bald's Peak. Gage or Emily, do you guys have any answer to that?
Yeah, kind of just hanging with the boys, hanging with friends too. Yeah, I hang out with Sammy and Emily a lot. We're like kind of a friend group. So kind of just time with friends is like a good way to like forget about school for a little bit, kind of just decompress through the day, you know. I love watching movies, kind of just like taking some time to relax, like light a candle in the room. Kind of like, just kind of have some time to yourself. Like, I think we can burn out quickly if we always are around people. So, of course, like hang out with friends, huge thing, but also make sure like you're taking time for just yourself. Like, watch a movie, read a book, whatever kind of like you like to do. Just go do that kind of in your room, isolated, get some alone time. Yeah.
I can agree with that also. I feel like it's all fun to hang out. Like, I agree. Relaxing is hanging out with friends, but at one point it can be a little too much and you need to like almost learn how to like be an individual, especially in college, especially with like relationships and stuff. So in terms of like relaxing, I just like to watch like, I don't know, a comfort show. I really like Gilmore Girls. I like to go bother Sammy. Literally anything other than go on my phone.
Perfect. Thank you guys for sharing that. My next point is that make sure that you are using the weekend to catch up on homework and hang out with your friends. Um, you can hang out with you can use either the weekday, that way you have the weekend free, or use the weekend, that way you have the week free. Me preferably, I like to use the week to do all my homework and my assignments because I'm already going to class. I'm already in that, like studious mood. and I like having the weekends for myself, and to hang out with my friends. So I like to try to finish all my assignments during the week. That's just something that I found to be beneficial to myself. And then another point, if you are an athlete watching this, make sure that you are talking with your professors and coaches. They're there to help you. They're there to work around your different schedules. And I've never once had a coach or professor get mad at me for talking to them about how I need to balance the two together. So just my second question relating to wrap up our talk on balancing life in college is just what is a major upcoming assignment or commitment that you may have, and what's an immediate step that you can take to put it on a calendar? So for myself, we have this project your senior year. You're going to be taking a class called History of Psychology. We have a teaching assignment, and one thing that I'm doing to put it immediately on my calendar is texting my partner, which is Gage, right away and saying, hey, what's a day and times during this week that we can work together on this assignment, and putting that on the calendar and really following through with that. Gage or Emily, do you guys have anything to contribute to that?
Yeah, kind of like you said. So the big thing would be that project, us teaching the class in history and psych, and it was really good. Like the way Sammy communicated that and opened up, like, "Hey, I'm free these times." Totally helps me to be like, "Okay, let me check my work schedule. Let me check what other things I have going on, and I can be able to be like, okay, when can we make this happen?" I also would say like when you find that time, find a big chunk. And honestly, like, I think people think like to split work up. And yeah, like if you do fizzle out quick, like I would say, okay, sure, go for that. But I think me and Sammy are kind of both like this. We like to kind of just like we can grind for hours and just do it. And then you have that one day where you work through it all. Maybe some touch up later on when you need. But I think I've done that with papers throughout my whole college career also. Like you kind of just sit down, find a huge chunk of time period and be like, okay, I'm going to lock in, phones off. Maybe take like, yeah, like 10-minute breaks here and there, but you're kind of just focused on that one thing. Cause then you get it done. You're like super relieved. And now we can focus on whatever is coming next. We also have a paper coming up in that class. So it's like just balancing that. Okay. Lock in time and then move on. So yeah.
I agree with them also because I am also in that class, but my partner Lexi has been really good at sending me Google, like to touch back on Sammy's uh like topic or whatever. She's been sending me a lot of Google Calendar invites, so being like, "Hey, like can you meet to work on the project at noon on Monday?" She sends me a Google Calendar invite, so that's like automatically in my calendar, which like keeps me organized, which I really like. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but um it's definitely, I think, a good tool that helps you stay organized. Uh, and I also have basically the same assignment also in another psychology class, like the teaching assignment. So I need to stay on top of that as well with my other partners. So it's a lot, but Google Calendar definitely helps with that and communicating with your partner.
Yeah, so to move along from balancing life in college, our next topic is about co-curriculars. I'm just here to kind of tell you guys what co-curriculars there are at George Fox and outside of George Fox. I believe that they're a very important part of the college experience. You're coming here to get an education and you're coming here to get your degree. And that's the most important thing. That's what needs to be your priority. But you're also coming here to make friends, to build relationships, connections, and to have a good 4 years at the university. So to start, earlier I mentioned that I work at Hadlock Student Center. That's our gym. For those of you who don't know, we run a program called Intramurals. And if you're into sports, there's volleyball, soccer, basketball, flag football, anything you could think of. We also have pickleball, badminton, all sorts of different sports. You can join a team, you can join with your friends, or you could join a team as like an individual. And intramurals is really fun. It's low commitment. It's about 2 days a week. You're going to play a sport for about 40 minutes, depending on which sport it is. It's really fun, really easy to sign up for, and it's a good way to like not be stressed, to decompress and have a good night. Most of the time they are at night, anywhere from 5:45 to about 9 o'clock at night. So it's also good because it doesn't tend to conflict with anything. We also have clubs on campus. The ones that I know of, we have a volleyball club, we have a fencing club, a lightsaber club, and like Hawaii club, and there's so many more other ones. We just recently had our club fair, but if you don't know what the clubs are, I'm sure you could go to Student Life. They have to approve all the clubs. They could give you a list of them. Clubs are just a good way to make connections, make friends, and just have something to do outside of academics at school. Another thing is every Friday our school hosts a event. So we just had the Jamboree recently, which was like country line dancing. And there's events for all sorts of people. So if you don't like country line dancing, it's fine because the next week we had the Amazing Race, which was like a trivia challenge type thing. This coming, we had the Starlight Parade. We're having the 80s dance coming up. So there's a lot of different activities that you can incorporate yourself into. For the most part, they're all free. We do have a couple dances that you do have to buy tickets, but it's awesome to just go with your friends, even if you only go for a little bit. And it's every Friday, so it's pretty reoccurring. And then for psychology in itself, we have events outside of classes ran by the department. I know of the psychology department barbecue, and they have worship sessions that I believe sometimes you can get chapel credit for. So just going to those events, getting to know people in your major and getting to know your professors on a deeper level and making those connections that you can use in the workplace later on is very beneficial. And then finally, you can go to like sporting events. I feel as if there's almost always a sporting event on campus going on when it comes to at least the weekends. Currently, we have football, soccer, volleyball going on, and a couple other sports. Entrance to all these games for students is free. It's fun to just go watch, even if you don't know the sport, hang out with some friends, kind of that time where you can decompress and just step away from academics. So just some questions that I have is like Emily and Gage, have you guys ever had an experience with either intramurals, a club, a school event, and how did that affect, how were you excited for it and how did it affect your college experience?
Yeah, so kind of I think the super fun one right now that's going on like pretty much now like every weekend is football games for the football team. So just like, meeting up with your friends, like showing up at the game all at the same time. We kind of just, cheering as loud as we can. Like it's been fun. This last weekend it was pretty packed out crowd, so it was fun. It was really great weather. Got to enjoy kind of that last like summer feel, so that was fun. Like it's just good energy, good time to like hang out with friends and also watch your boys, competing. I have a lot of roommates that are on the football team, so love supporting them. And then also intramurals are awesome. I haven't had any like horrible experiences. So competitive too. Like I think a lot of people think, like I'm playing intramurals, it's gonna be like soft and like not really. Like I play competitive 5-on-5 hoops, 3-on-3, and we get after it. Like the refs get a little backlash. Sorry, Sammy, but yeah, we have a fun time. It kind of feels like you're back like actually competing on your basketball team. So it's super fun. And then there's also, if you're not that competitive, there's also a rec league, which is really cool. That can be a little bit more laid back. And that's kind of more just a fun time to hang out with your friends and get to play the sport you enjoy and love. And then another one I would say that I really loved was freshman year. We had there's like the boat dance. I forgot what they called it exactly, but it was so fun. Like they took all of us people out and then we went on a boat and like there's a dance on it. It was so fun.
It's
Just
called
good.
Winter Formal. It's Sadie's, but we no longer do the
hmm
boat. We are now in like
We,
a
yeah,
museum type.
yeah. So it's a little different now, but
Yeah.
kind of just like George Fox has so many cool ideas with those like just dances and stuff, and it was a great time. And you get to meet a ton of new people. I remember that night I was like still like, you think you get into that deep in the semester, like, oh, there's no one else to meet. I already got my group, but there's always, areas to meet more people and get close with others. So yeah.
Yeah, to touch on that also, I agree with Gage. I mean, we're like juniors and seniors, and I just met like 3 new people last weekend. Like, there's always room to meet new friends and whatnot. To go along with Hadlock, I've also taken workout classes there. So they do Pilates, yoga, spin classes, hit workout classes, like seriously anything, and they're free. You just have to sign up through like the Hadlock website or something. If you need more information, ask Sammy. She'll send it to you. But currently we are actually all 3 on a volleyball team. And that's super fun. It's just the rec team, but we're competitive. Anyways, it's super fun. And I mean, it kind of sounds like a drag in the beginning when people ask you to play. Like it's every Tuesday, Thursday at like 8 or 9 p.m. at night. And it's like, oh, but like seriously, every Tuesday, Thursday, I always look forward to it. So that's a good way to meet people as well. And you don't even have to be invited to a team. You can just join a team, and that's a good way to make friends as well.
Yeah, so just to wrap up, we were able to go over how to balance life in college between athletics, academics, social life, work, outside school factors. And we talked about that. We talked about the importance of the planner, the importance of making time for yourself to relax outside of your academic work. And then we also talked about co-curriculars, about the integration of intramurals in life or going to a sporting event or even just going to the student activity events as well every Friday. Those are all options and they're open to anybody, and you can go with your friends or you could go by yourself, and trust me, you will end up meeting people there that may end up being your best friends later on down the road. So I just want to thank you guys for joining this session. I hope you guys were able to learn a little bit. And once again, if you guys have any questions or want any more advice on these topics, you can shoot me an email. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your school year. And hopefully this helped you throughout your next years here at Fox.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Sammy. Thanks, everyone.